Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's Eagle Talks Football. We are back again with another video. Arsenal have just won the final game of preseason versus Atletico Bilbao. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, that was exactly what I wanted to see. That was exactly what I wanted to see from Arsenal Football Club. We have been waiting for a while. When I say a while, I mean a while. The entire summer, the first 3 preseason games and everything, just to see a glimpse of what Arsenal will actually look like headed into this season. But what we seen today was a glimpse of what Arsenal will actually look like headed into this season. What we seen today was a glimpse of how we might play faster than we did last season. What we seen today is how Mikel Arteta and Arsenal have already transitioned into a quicker team than we were last year. What we seen today was Zubimendi putting in a masterclass and showing us that he is here to save how we play football. Also, there is a little bit of fire in Kai Havertz's belly as he came off the bench and also scored a goal. Victor Gyökeres, get used to seeing the celebration from Victor Gyökeres because that was a crucial opening goal. And from Zubimendi to Victor Gyökeres, 2 of our new summer signings making a difference for the first goal. That is a little bit of a poetic justice right there, justifying that we made 2 amazing signings in Victor Gyökeres and Zubimendi. I thought both of them were amazing. I thought both of them played well this game. And aerial goals, headers from Victor Gyökeres. People did not expect him to score headers. People said he doesn't score headers. We got Gunnar Solskjaer in the building saying he was worried about his head game. The guy was out here scoring a header in his first game. How you feeling, Gunnar Solskjaer? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, people. If you guys were upset and you were crying, oh my God, we look so bad. We're worse than Chelsea. We're going to be finished after a couple preseason games. Don't come here now and say, oh, it's only preseason. Why are you hyped? I'm not hyped. I seen the starters. I seen a glimpse of what we actually might look like rather than playing a bunch of bench players and squad players in the team. Today, we actually seen what the team will actually look like. And this was the momentum switch that we needed. This was the what do you call it? The ball needs to start rolling, getting things going in the right direction. And from the first goal to the second goal to the third goal, that looked like a different Arsenal than last season. We don't score that first goal consistently last season. We don't score the second goal that often. How often do you see Saka on his own slapping it into the back of the net? Also, finally, Kai Havertz starting from our own half, winning the ball by himself and then slicing it away. Those 3 goals, we don't see those kind of goals that often at Arsenal. Most of the time, we're trying to tap it into the net from close range. Most of the time, we're doing cutbacks. Most of the time, we are seeing sideways, backwards football. I'm quite happy with what I've seen today. And we're going to get into everything. Don't get it twisted. That 11 was exactly what I was saying was going to happen after we lost to Villarreal. Everyone was panicking. I said, relax. It's preseason. We're going to see our starting 11. You guys are going to calm down. What happened? We seen our starting 11 playing together. Everyone kind of calms down. But hey, Andrea Berta and Thing were on the sideline. Don't think they're ready. They're done. They still want more, but they're happy with what they've seen today. But yeah. Souls, take it away, bro. How you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, the narratives that were kind of spinning because the preseason games are crazy. Like, we can't create chances anymore. We look shit, this, that, and the other. The system's rubbish. Like, the narrative I was hearing was wild, completely wild. And I was saying it to people. I go, look, when you see more of the 11, that's when you start to see Arsenal. It's not a case of the system's crap. That's why it didn't work. No, certain personnel just had raised the levels of this team higher than others. Now, if you sprinkle some of your squad players into it, that's perfectly fine. Like, for example, if we had Moreno instead of Rice, you still probably see some of these dynamics happen. But the reality of the matter is, when you're seeing a full B team, what do you really expect? You're not going to expect the same quality of football that you're going to expect from your strongest 11. The same thing will happen for Liverpool as well. When they're playing their absolute strongest 11, it's going to be different. So this is why I didn't understand the meltdown, the breakdown. Oh my God, we're going to finish, like some people are thinking we're going to finish like 5th and we're going to compete for top 4, which they do every year, and then they get proven wrong. And the funniest narratives are, like the Zubimendi. I'm telling you guys, and I'm going to stick on this, and I don't care how much you want to clip it. Zubimendi will be proven to be the signing of the summer, and that's across any of the leagues. I'm not even just giving it to the Premier League. Across all of Europe, Zubimendi will be the signing of the summer. The guy is just phenomenal. Different level of player.
Zubimendi has arrived.
Yeah, these panicking, like people, I know obviously there's a case going on, but number 5, I told, man, doesn't matter, major upgrade, massive. And people are looking at me like I'm a lunatic. I'm not even joking. Like, I was like, no, Zubimendi is far better than any version of number 5. Like, crazy better. So this is why I never understand, like, why the narratives get spun into so many things. And La Liga, I will always back my stance on La Liga players because I do genuinely watch it. I don't just scout them onto a link to them. And that's why I like it. Even Mosquera, people will come to realize how good this guy is. Like, obviously, he's a raw player right now because he's a lot younger and he needs time to develop and stuff like that. But at the same time, he's going to be one of those players that we look back at and go, yeah, actually, that was a bargain. 8 under, what was it, 20 million or whatever the deal came to. Absolute bargain. Look, Mosquera for me is a more comfortable than a Kibio. Like, I'd much rather, if we had to play a left centre back, just play him there. He is a right centre back by trade or right back, but he can kind of cover for the centre back. But today you saw a difference. And one thing that I also want to kind of pin out is the system has changed.
100%.
People were kind of panicking about that, saying that we're looking like the same old Arsenal. Don't get it twisted, we did. But the reality of the matter is, once, like, every time Zubimendi entered the pitch, once, you had like Odegaard on the pitch with Zubimendi and Rice, like last game in Villarreal, when all 3 starting midfielders got subbed on, the game changed. And the thing is, I came on even then, only watching it once, saying, I think people are overreacting because I'm not seeing what they're seeing. Yes, there might be certain concerns that we can talk about, but overall, when those 3 came on, the dynamic of the team just completely changed. And obviously, Gyökeres getting his goal. The best thing about it, it's not even the fact that he scored. I think the best thing is it's happened so early, because the longer you let it linger, the harder it gets. Like, for example...
Yeah, all those 007 wankers can suck it.
I'm not saying he would be affected by it, but the pressure mounts, especially when you're...
I think he sees some of the stuff we say, because for him to attempt every header the way that he's doing, it's almost like he has a point to prove.
Yeah. No, but do you know what it is? It's more for me, like, going into that United game, it's eased that sort of, I need to score. Because when a player needs to score, they make a lot more mistakes. Now that he's got his goal, he's going to go into that game a lot more relaxed, a lot more familiar, because the amount of I know he scored one goal.
I think a preseason goal makes that big of a difference.
He had, brilliant. What's that, sorry?
Sorry, Souls. You honestly believe a preseason goal makes that big of a difference?
No. It's the fact that once you get your first goal, because the thing is, when you're like a signing of that because don't forget, this guy's breaking shirt sale records and all of this sort of stuff, to the point where Arsenal email you every 2 days when you order the Gyökeres shirt. Oh, we're still working on it. Like, it's a crazy backlog for Gyökeres. So what I'm trying to say is, like, when you come with that kind of expectation, getting your first goal, regardless of whether it's preseason or postseason, it's just when you get it. Now that he's got it, he's going to be a lot more relaxed. He's going to be a lot more going into these games. I'm not going to say he's going to be complacent. No, he's just going to feel more relaxed. He's not going to panic. He's not going to be like, oh my God, I have to get my goal. I have to get my goal. He's got it. And I think
let's go through some stuff before we do player ratings and everything else. First things first, Zubimendi has arrived. Absolute baller. His passing, the man's literally saving the club, because last season, the way people were always saying Partey's our best midfielder, bullshit. The guy was not doing half the stuff we've seen today from Zubimendi, and I'm not going to have any of these revisionist history. Defensively, he was not that good. Let's not act like he was as good as he used to be defensively. He was a suspect defensively. Today, overall, the opponent we had did not offer too much attacking wise, but what Zubimendi offered us, line breaking passes, the first pass, the pass into the friggin' half space, constantly getting players looking for the next direct pass. He's not out here trying to just play it back, recycle. It's very refreshing to see. Hopefully this continues and he doesn't like change over time. But honestly, I'm very excited about Zubimendi's prospects at Arsenal. What do you think about Zubimendi?
Oh, you know what I think about Zubimendi, man. That guy is a baller, certified, one of the best midfielders in the world. Like, the guy, you know what it is? It's the fact that he just knows the game. Like, he knows what's happening. He knows when to do what, slow it down, speed it up. Like, the tempo of how we play. And again, look, I do need to see this in a more competitive environment. Of course, it's preseason and it's friendlies. But he's done this in the Euros. He's done this for, Real Sociedad. He's done this across his career where he is one of the best tempo dictators of a game. But the thing with him is he's intelligent in when to do it. And also he has no angle bias. He's someone who can go to the right and the left just as comfortably as each other, half turns, coming deep. And you know the thing is, I'm not saying Odegaard had a good performance today, but you started to see glimpses of that coming back, glimpses of him being good, because there were moments of sloppiness. I'm not going to sit here and say he had a perfect performance, but Zubimendi, because Odegaard's now allowed to just push up without having to come deep to progress the ball forward, that's allowed Odegaard to become a little bit more of what we've seen. And now we just need that consistency from him. That's what also Zubimendi is bringing in. And I think what this is going to show is that double pivot of Rice and Zubimendi is a perfect complement, because where Zubimendi lacks, Rice can pick up, and where Rice lacks, Zubimendi can pick up in terms of that passing.
It's like Jorginho and Rice.
No, not really. I mean,
no, because obviously
levels of
Zubimendi is better defensively, but I'm saying it's a similar combination where somebody with a lot better passing range is next to Declan Rice.
Yeah. And I think that's the key to this, because, like, don't get it twisted, Declan Rice is brilliant at what he does, but he does have his flaws. Like, we know he's not the best of passers, but what he can do is drive the ball. He can be a destroyer. Whereas Zubimendi, he's got good physicals. Don't get it twisted, but he's not someone that you're gonna go into like, yeah, he's gonna absolutely destroy it. No, he's.
The crazy thing is though, today Declan Rice was on the ball a lot.
Yeah.
Usually he's not on the ball as much as he was today. Today he had the most touches out of our midfielders. Did you know?
Yeah. No, but that's going to be quite common because of how close they're going to play together. Because don't forget, like, what Zubimendi may do in certain situations is you use Rice to draw the pressure away from him to then return the ball to make the pass. Zubimendi is not a guy that's going to hold the ball. Whereas if Rice drives and touches the ball a lot more because of how he plays, he's going to progress with the ball. And Zubimendi is like, give me the ball, half turn, make the pass. He's already aware of his next move.
Let's shift gears to Victor Gyokeres. 71 minutes, hits the bar, scores a goal, and has another shot saved. 3 shots, all three on target. If I'm not mistaken, or hitting the bar doesn't count as on target, but pretty good. You can't lie. He was always in the right place, always looking for him. Saka now has somebody he can play the ball to. They need to figure out the chemistry between them, because when Saka passes the ball to him, he doesn't know if he needs to put too much power on it or if he needs to just put it in the right direction. I think Victor Gyokeres, next time Saka plays that ball to you, you need to put power behind that shot, because Saka might not slice it in with enough power for you to just guide it into the right place. So there you go. As for his overall performance, I thought he was solid. I thought he was making the right runs. I thought he was getting involved in the right places. And I'm just looking at Victor Gyokeres and I'm saying to myself, it's a breath of fresh air to have a striker at the club that's actually looks like he's going to be willing to just focus on scoring goals. Don't worry about everything else. I feel like the last couple of strikers we've had, although Jesus had a good run, Havertz had a good run, neither of them look like they were always focused on one task, getting the goal. Neither of them were certified bagsmen. Gyökeres looks like a certified goal scorer, and what he was doing, I'm very proud of him. Iga really displayed his age by. Nicholas, if you didn't understand the statement, you can go check it out again. I feel like it's being twisted into saying I rate Arsene Wenger less than I rate Arteta. That's not true. Go watch the video again if you actually want to see it. Gyökeres is going to score 25 Premier League goals. That would be amazing. That would be amazing if Gyökeres scored 25 Premier League goals. Hopefully he does, Almatis. But yeah, talk to me, bro. What are you saying, Souls?
Yeah, I mean, I'm liking the signs of Victor Gyökeres, especially early on. Don't get it twisted. I was a doubter. I'm not going to sit here and claim that I rated him very highly and I thought he'd be an absolute superstar for us. But he's showing a lot more to his game than I thought he had in terms of. Obviously, you spoke about the shots, you spoke about his box presence, you spoke about the header, you spoke about all of that. But the thing that I was most impressed by was the ability to actually use the ball and drive it forward, and the way that he can actually take on centre backs. Now he doesn't do it perfectly; he doesn't get every single time. Like he gets the ball, he takes them on, and he creates opportunities. But he's a lot better in tight spaces than I thought he would be. I thought he'd be a lot more clunky. I thought he'd be a lot more kind of like his touches would be a lot more heavy. But he does seem to have the ability, once he's got the ball under control, to actually manipulate it and use it in the right way. Now, obviously, we'll see kind of how he does against better centre backs, against better defenders. But so far, like the signs are there for a player who can do what Havertz was doing to some level, but also have that ability to be a very good box presence. And I think the other thing that we kind of start to see now is how much space he creates for other people. Because people know he's a threat and that they need to also look at that, Saka seems to have a lot more opportunities to take on the fullback one-on-one because the centre-backs are now being more drawn to where Gyökeres is. And obviously we'll see when the better teams come up and how that kind of translates, whether people will still want to double team. But the presence of Gyökeres alone, and especially after the goal, allowed Saka to isolate wing backs and full backs and actually play in that sort of sense. So I'm liking the early signs, and I think what he's going to bring and the dynamics he's going to bring to the team are going to be the difference makers. And I think that's why a lot of people are more excited now that we can potentially win the league than before signing him, because of the shit. Like, do you know what it is? Like, I know people don't like the word aura, but aura does make a big difference. And when teams are coming across a Gyökeres, for example, they're not going to go, actually, we can double team Saka, because they now have another threat to contain for. Because if you give Gyökeres space and that ball finds him, likelihood, I'm not saying he's going to do it 100%, but the likelihood is he scores. So what can't you do? You can't leave him in space, which now means you've got one less defender that you can utilize to go and cover. But then the issue that you have is Saka is the biggest threat for Gyökeres. So there you go. And that's when people are saying, like, how do we solve the double team and how does Saka adapt to it? You have to bring presence. You have to bring that player who can really draw the attention of other players. And I think that's what I like today. And again, it's Atletico Bilbao, it's a preseason, I will put that. But I think we're going to see that against United. How much, like, look at Martinelli. How much better has Martinelli? Like, I know it's a few moments and it's not all of the game that he plays as well, but even Martinelli's starting to look better, like slightly, but he's looking better. I'm not saying I want
Bro,
to
let's
keep
be
him,
honest.
but
Martinelli is the kind of player who will benefit massively from a faster pace team. He will.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think the main reason why Arsenal haven't sold Martinelli is because, one, he had a bad season and not a lot of people are going to be interested in him. And number two, if he has a good season this year, then we can maybe sell him next year, or then we'll keep him. At this moment in time, Arsenal is still in the decision-making process, and certain players like Martinelli, I just think he still has the capability to do a lot for us. So there's no point of rushing it and saying, let's get rid of him. He's still a very valuable piece in the short term. Moving on from Gyokeres, Zubimendi, Saka's goal. Quickly, just talk about it. That was a goal you don't see that often at Arsenal last season. You don't see those goals. The fast pace, quickly attacking with less numbers than normal, and then getting the goal. Boom, amazing. Why did we have to wait for everyone to get an attack before we score goals?
No, and I think that like I said, the system and the dynamics are majorly changing, and I think that's kind of where the key is. Like, to this, like, it was pretty much the perfect counter attack. Obviously Martinelli utilizing some of his key strengths, coming in and driving down the center, and then also it was smart of Martinelli to let it go to Saka as well. But this is why I say, look, as much as the process is annoying and how long it's taken to actually win things, this is the season defining transfer window, because Zubimendi coming in helps this, with the dynamics that we're now creating. Even when Noni Madueke came on, we saw glimpses of these sort of moments happening as well. It's all to do with how quickly we're now releasing the ball and no longer playing like we're playing hot potato with the ball. And that's what allowed these opportunities. Even the Kai Havertz, it was just one bang, 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 and it was just done. And and I think what Arteta is doing quite cleverly is this is the first game I've seen everything come together where we had control, we kept that defensive structure and discipline, but we also played the counter-attacking. Do you know when it was like Jesus Zinchenko came in the first season? What was it, 22, 23, if I'm not mistaken? That really high tempo, one touch, quick, quick, quick. We're seeing that, but we're also seeing control, but we're also seeing that sort of ability to just go, okay, they want to play in a low
The
block.
best of all the worlds
Yeah.
combined.
He's now combined all of his seasons like goodness, like the 3 seasons that we've been competing in, and just brought it all into one game. And I'm hoping that he does that moving forward, where he plays the game as the phases need to be played.
Hey, we need to be ready for that. The start of the season. It's a tough start to the season, and I'm confident that we will be ready. Liga posting what phase is Arteta in? Hilarious. I think Arsenal right now. The final person we need to talk about. We spoke about Zubimendi. We spoke about. We need to speak about Havertz. Havertz came off the bench and he showed physicality. He showed a pace, burst in pace I haven't seen from him in a while. And to basically start in our own half, win the ball, outpace 2 defenders, brush one off, and still slice it in the far post. He does not score that goal last year. He has gotten stronger. He looks faster, and the physicality to finish off that chance, he would have fallen over last year. I was really, really impressed with Kai Havertz on that 3rd goal.
Yeah, and I mean, look, a lot of people got criticized for kind of mentioning his physique and bulk up, but there are direct correlations to him kind of doing this sort of independent work and individual work kind of away from the scenes, building up and bulking up, because that was his key issue. Like you said, last season he actually gets bullied to the point where he couldn't take that shot on, and he actually wastes that opportunity, not because he's not quick enough or whatever, it's because he physically wouldn't have been dominating that sort of situation. So I do think there's a lot. No, I'm not gonna say, like, I'd never say like it's a blessing for a player to be injured, but in his situation it could have been, because of the ability for him to rework his physique, to rework the way he plays, and also to work on those sort of weaknesses that he had that prevented us from kind of closing the gap. But now, do you know what it is? We've got 2 bona fide threats. Like, if Gyökeres isn't firing in a game, I don't think people are going to complain too much if Havertz comes on, because you're going to be like, do you know what? That's a game changer. And vice versa. Let's say Havertz starts over Gyökeres and Gyökeres comes on. You're quite confident that there's ability for both of them to change the game. And I think that's the exciting part about it, is we're going to start to see so many more dynamics. The bench is actually going to look good. We're going to be confident that if plan A isn't working, that plan B will. And I think that's what excites me. Havertz coming off the bench and scoring is exactly what we need, because that's now saying, that's like Gyökeres took a shot at Havertz, Havertz returned the shot and said, you know what, let's go band for band. You scored, I scored, let's go. Like, and that's what we need. And we need our strikers to be competing and feeling like they have got to score, because we need them to score. So I'm happy that it happened, because I think that sort of friendly competition will keep them firing and keep them kind of being like, look, if I don't perform, he's right on my heel. And that's kind of what we need.
I hear it. Bro, final take. Madueke looked okay.
We're playing like a left back though, aren't we? Like a left wing back. It's just a weird way of playing him.
Madueke looked okay. Finally, there's no need for player ratings today. We're gonna save the player ratings for when the season starts. I thought it was a good overall performance from the guys. I'm not really giving anybody in the starting 11 anything less than a 7. The whole back line, the goalkeeper, the midfield. It's gonna be the only person who gets a little bit lower is probably a little bit lower rating. Who would it be? The guys who played 45 minutes, like Calafiori and Martinelli, get a little bit lower.
Calafiori today was brilliant.
But even him, he was solid. Yeah, he looked really good attacking wise. He looked really good
Yeah,
attacking wise.
I
Nigel
wouldn't say.
Winterburn, when he was speaking about the players, he's like, Calafiori really has an eye for goal, even though he's a left back.
Yeah, some of the ball. Oh my god, the way that he can just like open up
But
opportunities.
what about Ben White? Ben White has a really good eye for goal also, and I think he starts at right back for the first game of the season. The guys who I think have stamped their authority as starters are Ben White, and I think Mazlou Skelly start in the back line for first game week. Midfield
I'm
is
not gonna lie.
slowly.
As long as Calafiori's fit, I kind of see him as
Everything
the
is
start.
the same. It's just you take out Calafiori and Timber and you replace them with
I disagree.
Ben White and
I
Mazlou
don't think.
Skelly.
I think as long as Calafiori is fit enough to play, he plays over Lewis Kelly, in my opinion.
Ooh, hot take, hot take. But yo, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Hopefully everyone enjoys this video. I'm gonna be back. And by the way, is it crazy for me to say Arsene Wenger in his last iteration is not better than Arteta? Like these guys are acting like I'm saying Arsene Wenger.
I know why they're gonna take it as a bad take because he won 3 FA Cups and competed for top 4. I do understand like why they'd say, but it's. I don't think it. I think. I don't. Do you know what the issue is? It's not.
He also
Wenger's
bottled
fault.
the league title to Leicester.
Yeah, no, yeah. But I mean, you can also say Arteta's bottled the league as well. Like I know to more superior teams, but yeah, I mean, look, it's not a wild take. I understand there is logic behind your take, and I also
My
understand
whole
why
thing
people.
was Arsene Wenger walks in. Arsene Wenger that came from Japan, 100% he does that. Arsene Wenger and his back end of Arsenal is not the guy who people think he is.
It's not all his fault though. That's
It's not
I think
all
what
his
people are
fault,
trying
but
to say.
I don't think. Say he takes over the team we have today. Does he win?
It's a different era, innit? I'd say
That's what I'm saying. I think Arsene Wenger was tactically naive at the back end of his career, and if this was Arsene Wenger at the beginning of his career, 100%. But don't sit here and act like I'm saying prime Arsene Wenger replacing with Arteta. I'm just simply saying in today's
okay,
world,
like the last like 5 seasons. Do you mean like
yeah.
okay?
I'm not
I get
saying
you.
2020, 2022. I'm not saying that. I'm saying simply 2017. What was it? 16, 17 season. Arsene Wenger put him into this season. Do you think that man would be able to be up for it to get us into a title race and win it? I don't think so.
It's 50-50 in it because the backing Arteta gets, Arsene Wenger could do it.
We'll see. I mean, we'll never see.
But then again, though,
We'll
like
never know.
he wouldn't have built a team like this, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, he would have built a more attacking side.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have signed as many defenders.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd get Gabriel. I wouldn't know if we'd got like Saliba. Obviously, kind of came in that sort of iteration, so that's
Listen,
different.
I think at this point, until Arteta wins, people are just gonna say you're ridiculous to ever compare him to anybody. But hey, I just rate him higher than you guys do. I'm gonna wrap it up here, bro. You have a good day. I'll catch you later. I got a Chelsea stream later tonight also, so look out for that in about 12 minutes. I'm gonna head over to the terrace. I'll catch you later. Peace out, guys.